Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Mr. Will, here for our first Music Moment with Mr. Will video. So remember, like I said, I had already recorded the video, and Mondays are Music Moments with Mr. Will. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now the first video I picked is something from Hamilton, actually, for a couple of reasons. One, because Hamilton is the hot ticket, and when trying to get a point across, you know, to get started here, using more popularized things, and then we'll venture off into some of that more obscure music, into more shows that people probably don't know about. But we will start with Hamilton. But we're going to start with a song that I personally did not even know was in the show, let alone that I know was probably my favorite song out of the show, until I watched it. Now, I had heard the show when it came out, but I thought it was just alright. I didn't think it was bad. It was just alright. You know, it didn't to me do anything. But seeing it to me took it to another level. It actually gave me an appreciation for things. And so this song that I'm going to do is One Last Time from the musical, and we're going to get going. And like I said, I have seen this one before, but I'm going to react live and tell you things that went through my head that first time of me actually seeing it. Now, this video and rendition is actually from the White House, when the cast performed at the White House. And one, I like the vocal rendition of this a little better than what was released on Disney Plus. Christopher Jackson and Lin-Manuel did a wonderful job. Chris Jackson especially, wonderful job playing Washington in the performance that was recorded. But this just is a little bit better of a vocal performance for reviewing purposes. And two, whether you agree or like him or not, Obama did serve his 8 years in the presidency, and you can't get to a higher position than that. You're the leader of the free world, and so to have the song about George Washington saying, "Yep, I'm done and I'm leaving the office of the president," singing it in the room with the president, that's like singing Jolene in the room with Dolly Parton. It's just got to be something really magical. So here is One Last Time featuring Chris Jackson and Lin-Manuel Miranda and the cast of Hamilton. Now let's see what we got.
Mr. President, you asked to see me. I know you're busy. What do you need, sir?
I've always really liked that groove that they set up.
I give you a word of warning. Sir, I don't know what you heard, but whatever it is, Jefferson started it. Thomas Jefferson resigned this morning. You're kidding. I need a favor. Whatever you say, sir. Jefferson will pay for his behavior. Talk less. I'll use the press. I'll write under a pseudonym. You'll see what I can do to him. I need you to draft in a draft. Yes, he resigned. You can finally speak your mind. No.
Now, one thing that I want to point out really quick. A lot of times in musicals, we have thematic music. There's theme music. Every time this character comes on, there's this, the orchestra plays this, or the music does this. No different than Hamilton. So when people were saying, Hamilton was not a traditional musical, there are a lot of traditional things that are used in musicals. So it is just very much so a traditional musical, just told in a non-traditional style. But that is one thing, is we do use thematic music, and Hamilton does it too. So that when George Washington is first introduced, it's during Right Hand Man, and it's that boom boom bottom, boom boom bottom, boom boom ba. So it's played in a more aggressive nature because he's General George Washington. He's attacking, he's ready. But then once it gets to the point to where it's chilled out a little bit more, it's he's now older. He's President George Washington, and he's ready to go home. So it's a laid back groove. doom, 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 doom. It's just a walking bass line, as in before, to where it was the entire orchestra. So, to me, it's really, really cool. So let's keep rolling.
Here's the. I'm stepping down. I'm not running for president. Sorry, what? One last time.
I love that syncopation.
Relax. Have a drink with me. One last time.
I really, really like that.
Let's take a break tonight, and then we'll teach them how to say goodbye. To say goodbye. You and I. No, sir. Why? I want to talk about neutrality, sir. With Britain and France on the verge of war, is this the best? I want to warn against partisan fighting. But pick up a pen, start writing. I want to talk about what I have learned, the hard-won wisdom I have earned. As far as the people are concerned, you have to serve. You could continue to serve. No, one last time. The people will hear from me one last time.
One cool thing just about this video
right,
is anytime the camera goes to President Obama, watch everyone around him. Once they all realize, like, oh crap, they're talking about the president that's, leaving, and he was leaving the office within the next I believe week or so. It may have been even longer than that, but he was preparing to leave for office. He was on his way out, and it to me just is really cool. It just provides this really cool vibe. So watch everyone around him just kind of like, does he like it? How's he feel? It's really cool.
We're gonna teach him how to say goodbye. You and I. Mr. President, they will say you're weak. No. They will see we're strong. Your position is so unique, so I'll use it to move them along. Why do you have to say goodbye? If I say goodbye, the nation learns to move on. It outlives me when I'm gone. Like the scripture says, everyone shall sit under their own vine.
It's pretty cool. So music typically has forms, something we call a form, and the form of music is the sandwich of how it's made. What's at the beginning, what's at the end are kind of very similar, and then the stuff in the middle is different. And so this is what we would call a bridge of sorts. This starts to move us into a section that is completely unlike the rest of what's going on. So we had that first do at the beginning, and then once he got into the second verse, it started that same way, bum bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-da. But when he got into the chorus, one last time, relax, have a drink, it's the same thing, boom boom da doom doom. It's the same thing. So we're starting to see a form pull itself into this. But now we're in something that doesn't sound like anything else that we've heard. So we're starting to get away from that. But it always comes back. So that's a good thing and you'll listen to a lot of songs, pop music, rock music, jazz music. It all does this sense of form. So let's keep going.
No one shall make them afraid. They'll be safe in the nation we've made. I want to sit under my own vine and fig tree. A moment alone in the shade. At home, this nation we've made. One last time. One last time.
And this is cool because this is actually taken from George Washington's farewell address. So this is pretty cool.
Many errors. I shall also carry with me the hope that my country will view them with indulgence. But after 45 years of my life dedicated to its service with an upright zeal, the faults of incompetent abilities will be consigned to oblivion, as I myself must soon be to the man
This is pretty cool, because to me, what I think is going on is if you, when you watch the show, you will understand. What I understood from this was Hamilton followed George Washington a lot and looked to him as a father figure, and when George Washington was at the pinnacle of his career and was just like, yeah, it's time for me to just take it easy. I don't want to die in this office. I want to still enjoy the life that I have started to build. And that's what's going on. And I think after that, that's when Hamilton starts to chill out a little bit, especially in regards to what goes on the rest of the show. He's trying to just, so I think Hamilton, to an extent, really was writing the words that he wanted to say for George Washington to say. And so them saying it together, I think, has a double meaning. Not only is it the pen and the speaker, I think it's more of Hamilton was finally getting out what he was ready. He had been fighting so long, and he was ready to start to get to that chance of rest. But that's just me. I could be totally wrong, and I could be reading into it wrong. But I like that. Let's keep going.
That retreat in which I promised myself to realize the sweet enjoyment of partaking in the midst of my fellow citizens, the benign influence of good laws under a free government, the ever-favorite object of my heart. Happy reward as I trust of our mutual care, labors and danger.
And look, there they go, all looking at him. I mean, it's a magical moment. I don't cry often, but the first time that I watched this, I did get a little teary.
History has its eyes on you, yeah. We're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. Teach them how to say goodbye. We'll say goodbye. Say goodbye one last time.
Now that for sure is something that it's a magic within itself. You know, we're gonna show these people on how we're going to move on, and it's just, that's the power of theater. The power of theater lets us know that no matter how bad things get, they may seem on getting, we have the gift of goodbye. We have that gift of moving on. And now I do want to play you something, and what I'm going to play you is actually from the Cast album, and I'm pulling it up here. It's actually from the Cast album, and to me, the vocals on this are right on the money. And take that image that you just saw, and we're going to listen to how he exemplifies that. All right.
History has its eyes on you, yeah. We're gonna teach them how to say goodbye. Teach them how to say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye one last
I mean, just thinking of the words, we're going to teach, history has its eyes on you. We're going to teach them how to say goodbye, teach them how to say goodbye. This is after that bridge part. So that bridge, before the reading of the goodbye speech, he says, everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. They'll be safe in the nation we've made. I want to sit under my own vine. So George Washington in that moment was selfless. He said, everyone shall sit under their own vine. Okay, but then it's okay to be selfish, and I think that's where we make our mistakes. I want to sit under my own vine and my fig tree, a moment alone in the shade, at home in this nation we've made. You know, that those words right there are absolutely beautiful. Um, and I think that the setting of the number, it's a showstopper for sure. And a lot of times showstoppers are not. I wouldn't necessarily. This is ballad esque. I wouldn't necessarily call it a full on ballad, but it's a lot of times showstoppers are either either at the end of an act or at a time in the show. Like they don't happen like in the middle of the show without dancing. This is one of those times to where he just has to sit there and soak in the applause because it's amazing. It's amazing, and especially done by the correct actor. And I think Christopher Jackson did an amazing job, amazing job doing that. So yeah, that was a great job. So the link to this original video will be down in the comment section below. I'll put it down there so you can go and watch it. And I'll also put down a version that I found of the performance. It has words on the screen, but it's the only one I can find on YouTube. So that you can get the chance to go and watch, you know, different performance and make comparisons yourself. See what you like. See what you find different. See if you can see some of those things that I'm pointing out. And I think it's all great. I think it's all great. So this is for sure a really nice song, and I think it's my favorite one out of the show, because the rest of them, you know, the rest of them are nice, and there are some other songs that I really like and other parts that I really like. But this, as far as a song, I personally do want to play George Washington just so I can sing this song. You know, so all right, that's been our first music moment with Mr. Will, friends. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to hit that bell icon for notifications so you can get notified every time I post a video. My name is Mr. Will, and this has been a music moment with Mr. Will. You guys have a great night.